Hello team, today's challenge is roommates, where we're given a list of names along with their grouping element, their grouping letter, I guess. And we need to create rooms of two people until it runs out. So in this case, we have Alice, Bob, and Carol, A, B, and A, which means that Alice and Carol get joined up, which is where the and comes from. And Bob is in a room by himself, right? Kind of sad for Bob, but there it is. As we go down, you'll see the same pattern. And in fact, they've done something really nice to make our lives easier here, where the end result is actually based on the group letter and not just the first time that we've seen that name. So Adam, Augustus, and Angelica are all part of group D. So there's Adam, and where is Augustus? Augustus down here, and Angelica down here, right? They're all part of group D, and the first group that we hit is group D. So we put them all kind of together, and then we break them into rooms. And we do the same with Abraham, Austin, and Aaron, right? At which point we get our final output. So that's kind of what we're going for today, and that's what we're going to do. Over here, we're going to start with the groups, okay? So we're going to get our groups, and that's going to be based on that group property, okay? So right here, we can go Object.groupBy, which is kind of new, but not so new that it shouldn't work in all modern browsers, right? If your browser is somewhat up to date, this should work, okay? With this, we send in our key, or our array, which is people, like this. And then we send in a callback, okay? And that callback is the individual object. So on that object, I'm going to destructure group right from here, okay? Because we already know that's there. That's right here, right? Group. It's weird that they put it in quotes. I guess they expect this to be JSON, right? But we can just use it as is. So we get that group and return group. And the nice thing about this callback is that whatever the return is, that's going to be the object key. So when we get a group of A, right, it's going to create an object key of A, and it's going to drop that person into A, and then it's going to go to the next one. And if the next one is also A, then it will take that person, add it to A as well. So it does all the work for us, okay? Down here, the next thing is to get our rooms, right? Our room assignment. If I could type that while looking, there it is, okay? So our rooms are going to be the values from this group. We don't really care about the keys now because we've already grouped them up, but we do care about the values. So we go object.values, sending in groups like this, right? And then doing stuff. And what are we going to do? Well, we're going to flatMap, okay? And we're going to flatMap. Again, it's still kind of new, but it saves us having to flatten things, okay? In fact, I think GroupBy is newer than flatMap, if I remember. So they both should be supported. But flatMap will take, if it returns an array, it will try to flatten that array by one level. So it'll take all the elements from that array and return them directly into rooms, okay? Which is excellent. It takes all the same arguments as before. So right here, we're going to do that individual group, right? Because that's kind of what we have. And inside of here, we need to set up our final output, okay? So output, just like this, we're going to set it to an empty array because we are doing a for loop inside of here, right? Essentially what we've done is we've created a matrix of values or a multi-dimensional array. And so we have the outside loop, that is flatMap, and we have the inside loop, that is the for, okay? And the reason that we're using the for is because that allows us to skip count. You'll see that in just a second here. So if I go let I equal 0, and I is less than group.length, I believe. Yeah, length, just like this. And I equals I plus 1, okay? So just like that, or sorry, plus 2 is what I'm looking for. In fact, I think I could actually change this to be just plus equals 2, right? And then we drop down. I am missing a semicolon right here, which is why it's screaming at me. Perfect, okay? So this way we're skip counting here. Okay, we're reassigning I to I plus 2, which is what's going on here. If we didn't want to use the plus equals, we would have to go I equals I plus 2, a little extra bit. But skip counting by 2 so that we can do the thing that's inside. Okay, so we let room equal group I, just like this, dot name, because that's the other part of this, right? The actual name on there. And then from there, if group, type it right, group I plus 1, then we want to add on to it. Okay, so we go room, why do I keep wanting to type it as round? Room plus equals, so we're doing concatenation now, right? This is addition up here, this is concatenation, and what are we concatenating? Well, it's going to be a space, and then our ID. So we take this bit right here, copy it over, dot name, lots of spelling mistakes today. Excellent. Okay. And then the final step is to put it on that output. So output, just like this, dot push. What are we pushing? Well, it is room, right? Just like that. With that for loop done, the last step that we need to do is return output, okay? At which point it should be done. Let's go take a look. We're going to update people to be rooms and hit it, and it absolutely is, okay? Thankfully, there's a bit of a catch in here, but thankfully this gets the job done today. It does use some newer properties like GroupBy and flatMap, but you can see how we are doing the work inside of here. This will return an array, right? Which is what the output is. And that array gets flattened into rooms. So otherwise, if we just did a map, then rooms would be an array of arrays, which is not what we want. We would have to flatten it anyway, okay? But we can skip count, which means that we don't have to worry about the odds and ends. And in fact, if there is one, then we add to it, we do the thing. Again, there's a small thing in here that I'm worried about. It works today. I'm not sure if it works today because of the way the tests are set up, but objects are not guaranteed to have an order. So that's concerning to me a little bit, that this group by actually returns the exact order that we need in order to make this work. And that might be because of the letters, right? It's A, B, A. So when we hit A and we put that in, well, it's going to sort those properties, the property A, the property B, in alphabetical order. So it just sort of magically works. I'm a little concerned by that, right? If I wanted to guarantee that, I could bring this down. I'm going to leave this here. And instead of Object.groupBy, I can go Map.groupBy, which is guaranteed to follow the insertion order, right? Now, as a result of that, I'm going to have to do something here as well, right? Where instead of all of this, it is groups.values, and that groups.values creates an iterator, right? So in order to get all the values out, I need to spread that into an array, which then goes into flatMap, and now everything still works. But to me, even though this is a little bit more complex in terms of basic JavaScript, it feels more safe to me. And this is where I would actually end it. So as much as I love Object.groupBy, it is not guaranteed to maintain any sort of order. Okay, objects do not do that, right? We need them to be arrays or maps or something else that has an iterator on it. Okay. But again, this is where it is. And yes, there are plenty of other ways to do that. Again, not every solution, just hopefully one good solution, right? Could we have found a way to move most of this into a reduce, which would allow us to remove some of these loops? Yes. Does the code get more complicated? Yes, it does, right? If you explore that and you want to share it in my comments, absolutely do that. But for today, did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know that as well in the comments. And yeah, this has been Roommates, and I will see you tomorrow.